Good day, Professor Bandelaria and classmates. I will be discussing Lesson 2, Social Marketing Environment, which is part of Module 4, Planning and Implementing Social Marketing. At the end of this lesson, we should be able to focus our social marketing plan and analyze the social marketing environment. This lesson will guide us on focusing our social marketing plans as well as analyze the social marketing environment to better situate the social marketing program in the context of the community and the people whom we will be working with. So what is social marketing environment? According to Velasco et al., it consists of forces external to the social marketing campaign, but are essential in contributing to its ability to develop and maintain successful influence on its intended adopters or intended audience. So in order to create a successful and well-thought social marketing campaign, Kotler suggests that we do the mapping of the internal and external environments. So step number 1 is describing the plan background, purpose, and focus. So background is briefly identifying the social issue that will be addressed by your plan. It may include epidemiological, scientific, or other research data from credible sources. It must make the readers understand the reason why you developed a plan. And it must also leave the readers wanting to read further to find out your proposed solution for a specific social issue. Next is purpose. It is the ultimate impact or benefit that will be achieved if your intended audience performs the desired behaviors at the intended levels. So it need not be long or elaborated at this point, but it should inspire support for the plan. So purpose should not be confused with objective and goals because it is a broad statement of the campaign. So objective is what we want the audience to do, what they need to know or believe in order to be persuaded, while goals establish a desired level of behavior change as a result of the program and campaign efforts. So some examples of purpose is to eliminate the stigma surrounding mental illness and reduce the amount of time it takes to get through the airport security. So next is focus. Areas of potential focus may be behavior-related, population-based, or product-related strategies. But they are broad at this point, which will be narrowed further in the next steps of planning process. There is also a criteria for choosing the most appropriate focus. So first is behavior change potential. So is there a clear behavior that can be promoted to address the issue? The next is market supply. So you'll ask yourself, is this issue already being addressed by other organizations and campaigns? And then next is organizational match. So is this a good match for the sponsoring organization, or is it consistent with its mission and culture? Does it also have staff expertise to develop and manage the effort? So next is funding sources and appeal. So you'll ask yourself which approach has the greatest funding potential. And lastly, impact, or which approach has the greatest potential to contribute to the social issue. So let's move forward to step number 2, which is conducting a situation analysis. So, situation analysis is conducting a quick audit of internal factors and external forces that are anticipated to have some impact on and relevance for subsequent planning decisions. So, in order to successfully conduct a situation analysis, you must have already selected a purpose and focus for your plan. So, internal factors are called microenvironment, which are associated with the sponsoring organization for the campaign, while external forces are called macro environment, which the marketer or the planner has little to no control over, but does have influence on the target audience and your efforts. So this is the actual diagram or figure which shows the level of influence to the target audience and your campaign efforts. So this is factors and forces influencing intended audience and social marketing efforts. So the outermost layer is macro environment, which is followed by the micro environment, and then marketing mix in particular order. So it should be noted that the center of your planning process is the target audience, and a specific segment of the population of your target audience will be identified in step number 3. So the marketing mix, or the 4 Ps, are the variables which you as the marketer planner have most control over. So the microenvironment, or the factors related to the organization managing the social marketing effort, are the following. Resources. So for this, you will ask questions like, how are your levels of funding for the project? Do you have access to expertise related to the social issue or the target populations that you can easily tap? The next is service delivery capabilities. So for this, you would want to know if the organization have distribution channels available for current products and services you might develop. So for the management support, you'd want to know if the management supports your project or if they have been informed about it. Next is issue priority. So for this, you would want to know if the social issue you will be addressing is given priority within your organization. So also if there are other issues that will be potentially compete with your issue that will be addressed in terms of resources and support. Then next is internal publics. So for this, you'd like to know who are the people in your organization who would most likely support your campaign. Next, current alliances and partners. So you would ask yourself how to know if the sponsor organization has any alliances and partners that could potentially provide additional resources like funding and expertise. Lastly, past performance. So for this one, you would want to know the organization's reputation or in prior related projects. Macro environment, or the forces affecting intended users or adopters. First, demographic forces. So age, gender, education, religion, socioeconomic status, and etc. Next, economic forces is the financial aspect of the social marketing environment. So this include the costs which can constrain or motivate the people in accepting a social product. Next is natural or physical forces. So these are forces of nature or climatic condition, daily temperature, level of stress and pollution, availability of local resources. So for example, water supply, famine, drought, housing, and transportation facilities. Political or legal forces include laws, legal processes, judicial procedures, as well as social pressure, public interest, and cost-oriented groups with campaign objective. Next is social cultural forces. So these are psychographics of the intended adopters or their internal attributes like attitudes, values, preferences, mindset, motivation, predispositions, and personality. Next is technological forces, or the future-oriented changes in the development and new generation of technological breakthroughs. And lastly, external publics. So these are groups outside the organization, other than the current alliances and partners, that could have some impact on your efforts. So whether good or bad, to you, your target audience, and new potential partners. These are my references for the discussion, and these are my discussion questions. Number 1, between macro environment and micro environment, what do you think would have greater impact on the social marketing campaign, and why? Number 2, while thinking of yourself as the marketer or planner, which among the criteria for choosing appropriate focus would you give most importance or priority? So that would be all. I hope that I was able to discuss well the lesson about social marketing environment. And I am looking forward to your participation in the discussion forum.